Hi, welcome to the channel. This is Destination FBA. My name is Emma and I'm sharing my journey as an Amazon FBA seller through all these videos, so you'll be able to follow the whole process and everything I learn along the way. Now hopefully these videos will help you out if you're new to Amazon or you're just getting started. Now, as with everything, things take time. You can't possibly learn everything overnight. So if you're thinking of getting into Amazon, make sure you do your research first. This is not a quick money-making scheme, so don't be fooled that those that are doing well have not worked for it, because they have worked really, really hard. To be successful does take time, and it takes a lot of work and commitment too. So the best place to start is online, so do your research first. There is just so much free information out there, so whether it's through videos like these or through blogs, you will find all the content and all the information you need to get started. Now there's also lots of great Facebook groups, so we'll pop a link to our Facebook group below. Now whether you're a new seller or an experienced seller, we have lots of people at different levels that are always happy to share their experience and their knowledge with other people. Now whilst there is a lot we need to learn, there's also a lot that we need to be aware of. There are so many silly mistakes we can make, especially early on, but we can try and learn from other people's mistakes and limit these to as few as possible. The less mistakes we make, the more money we'll make and the quicker we can build that business. So today I wanted to go over the top sourcing mistakes and try and help you avoid these on your journey. So the first one, and the one that I consider to be the most important, is not analysing a deal properly. Now sometimes if you're in a rush, you might pick up an item and just assume it's profitable before you analyse that deal properly. Now when you scan it, the price it shows is not necessarily the price it will sell at or the price it has sold at in the past. You need to thoroughly analyse all your deals and be sure that they are giving you a good return after all your costs have been taken out. So I'd highly recommend you purchase software like Buybot Pro that you can use on desktop to analyse all those online deals. Now this subscription also comes with a free app, which is Buybot Go, and this just allows you to analyse deals when you're out and about doing retail arbitrage. Now this app allows you to look at everything within the space of a few seconds. So we can see the profit and the return on investment, and then if we scroll down we can see things like the expected sales, whether we are eligible to sell the item, if it's hazmat or meltable, and whether Amazon are also on the listing. We then have a competition analysis page and we've got these historical data charts. Now with all this information available to us, there is absolutely no reason to not analyse those deals properly. Now you don't want to be stuck with stock you can't sell, so this is an absolute must when it comes to sourcing. It will just help you to keep that cash flowing as well. Then next up we have deliberating and wasting time. Now when it comes to sourcing, you don't have time to mess about. If you wait too long, you sit and you deliberate over an offer, you may find you miss out, especially if you're doing online arbitrage. Sales and clearance items sell fast, so you need to be quick with your sourcing, but you also need to make sure you are analysing those deals properly. You also need to get those quantities right. Now there is nothing worse than finding a great product that has a great profit margin, a great return on investment, just to let yourself run out of stock. You're going to lose sales and you're going to lose that buy box while you're waiting for more stock to be checked in. If you do have any replenishable items, you should really aim to keep 30 to 60 days in stock to avoid this happening. Now whilst you want to make sure you have enough stock, you also don't want to overstock, as this could result in long-term storage fees, and if at a later date you need to get that stock back, you will have to pay a removal fee. Now there may be times that you have to buy in bulk to get a discount. Now in cases like this, just be mindful of how many units you're sending into Amazon. Just check all that historical data and check what your competition is doing as well. Now we also don't want to be buying items that are not selling well. Buying items that are not selling well could really hurt our cash flow. Now with that money invested into slow moving stock, we may find it difficult to keep stock moving into Amazon. Now this is not good for business, especially if we're trying to grow things. Now it could be that the item you've bought did sell well in the past, but it's a seasonal item and it's no longer selling that well. So again, you need to check all those historical charts and you need to be sure of what you're doing. The return on investment and the profit might be great, but if the sales aren't there, you're going to find it a real struggle, especially if there's also competition on the listing. This then brings us to the next sourcing mistake, and that is ignoring the competition. Now when you purchase any item, you need to do your research first. You not only want to be checking the profits, the return on investment and the sales, but also the competition on that deal. So you should be looking at how many sellers there are, what stock they have and how fast that stock is moving. If you don't do your research and the product is too competitive, you could find that you have a lot of stock sat on Amazon shelves, and again this will cost you in long-term storage fees and it will hurt that cash flow. Now variance is another thing we need to be really careful of. I've spoken to so many people that have made this mistake and I've done it myself as well. Now when you're sending in an item that does have variance, make sure you are sending in exactly what is listed. It is really easy to sometimes send in something that's a slightly different colour or a slightly different size, but this will result in lots of unhappy customers and you could get bad reviews. Now this isn't something you want, especially so early on, so just check and double check everything you are sending in. Then finally we have mismatch stock. Now you may have a listing that shows a 24 pack, but you send in a 20 pack. Now again, that customer is not going to be happy. Just make sure you send in exactly what's on the listing, just as you would do with the variance. Now I have made a similar mistake in the past and I haven't checked the quantity of a bottle of shampoo. So again, just be sure that everything matches and everything is as it should be. It can be a really easy mistake to make, especially if you're rushing. Now when it comes to sourcing, you need to know what you're doing. You need to be confident in those products that you're purchasing, and you need to be confident in that pricing too. Try and go for items that have a reasonably high return on investment, because you will find that other sellers will jump on the listing and that price may come down a little. You do need to have some room there for adjustment if needs be, but you need to make sure you're still making a good profit. Now I hope that's just given you a bit of food for thought when it comes to sourcing and the mistakes that we can make. Now we are all human, mistakes happen, but if we can try and limit these to as few as possible, it will just make the whole process easier and much more enjoyable. Now if you found this video useful, please do click that like button, subscribe to the channel as well for more videos like this in the future. Now I will pop a link to that Facebook group below, so please do jump in if you'd like to join us. That is it for today, but thank you very much for watching and I'll hopefully see you in the next video. Bye bye.